Hello, listening to people moan on and on and on enthusiasts. My name is RidersDX, and this is Demeech. And
what up?
And welcome to the second part if you're tuning in from his channel. But if you're just tuning in now,
Part
then...
two.
If you're just tuning in now, then you can watch his or not. I don't really care. But...
I care!
This is part 2 of what we are launching today as the Sonic and Mario podcast.
That's right. This has been an idea we've had since Too Many Games, and we wanted to wait for PAX West to make that a reality since that was the last convention we were going to. Yeah. I think this is the last of the year.
Yeah, unless someone wants to make a Taylor Swift convention.
You can not count me out of that one.
What if you had a free pass and a free flight and hotel?
I would just take the hotel and the flight and find anything else to do.
You can do it with a broken heart. You can totally do it.
I think eating a light bulb sounds more entertaining than that.
Well, you know, maybe the light bulb would... I was gonna say... I'm not doing that. But, so, the basic gist of what we're doing for this podcast is that... So, Demeech is a Mario fan, and I am a Sonic fan. I mean, we've had different experiences with both franchises throughout our lives, but it's pretty clear where our true allegiances lie. So we thought a really fun concept for a podcast would be to introduce each other to various Sonic and Mario video games. And so...
I mean, are there more than just the video games? I mean, I'm sure there's board games and stuff.
I mean, I guess you could get into board games if you like.
Playing board games and doing jigsaw puzzles and playing tic-tac-toe.
Drinking hot cocoa.
Drinking hot tea.
I thought you said cocoa.
Drinking hot tea.
I thought it was cocoa.
Oh yeah, hot cocoa.
That was a horrible episode, by the way, but yeah, when it comes to Sonic, of course I've had experience with the Sonic games, but I'm definitely more of a Mario fan.
Yeah, so we thought that this would be a fun idea to introduce each other to lots of different Sonic and Mario titles, and if you're like a Sonic fan like me and don't have a lot of experience in Mario, then you might be inclined to check out maybe, I don't know, 0.1 of a Mario game, I guess. Also, if you're a Mario fan, you'll realize that Sonic is the best platforming franchise of the world. And he deserves way more credit.
Yeah, maybe, no thanks. So, when it comes to Sonic, my introduction to the series was actually, in the grand scheme of things, shortly after Mario. I got my Nintendo DS in December of 2009 for my 10th birthday. So, what I actually wanted a DS for, and you'll be proud of me for this, Drawn to Life SpongeBob Edition.
Oh, yeah.
So, with that game, that's a reason why I wanted to get into the DS, because SpongeBob and drawing were my favorite things at the time, and I still love them to this day. But in terms of Mario, the first one I got was New Super Mario Bros., and funnily enough, I wasn't interested in playing it. Like, I was fine with my comfort food of Scribblenauts, Drawn to Life SpongeBob, and Pac-Man, but everything changed with New Super Mario Bros. But that Christmas in 2010, I actually got Sonic Classic Collection for the DS.
Good choice, good choice.
Which is a combination of, or compilation of Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic 2 and Knuckles, and Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Very distinct games, so 5 games in one. What a package.
I will say, I think that was the last time that Sonic 3 and Knuckles was re-released before Origins, and this one actually had the real soundtrack.
Yeah, that's a huge issue that like still upsets lots of Sonic fans, including me to this day. The original Sonic 3 and Knuckles had one of the best soundtracks of the entire franchise, and I don't know what's going on, honestly. I don't think we'll ever know the full story of what's going on, but there's a lot of bops in that game. Lots of bops.
I mean, worst comes to worst, just emulate, play the actual version instead of the one in Origins, but I gotta say, when it comes to Sonic Classic Collection on the DS, it is a good collection. There are some problems with it. The emulation isn't perfect. I think they could have done, like, a better job with it, just looking in hindsight.
Beyond, like, the emulation and stuff, what did you think about, like, the actual gameplay or the mechanics of Sonic?
I never really could get into Sonic 1, although I did enjoy Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. But at the time, I didn't even know about the and Knuckles thing. Oh, it actually included Sonic and Knuckles as a separate game. So it included 6 games in total.
Yes.
Although, in reality, it was just the playable Knuckles and Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which, smushes the two together just like an orange Hostess cupcake. He does not like that, does he?
It's enough is enough. You need to know when a joke has died.
We gave him out at the Street Pass panel at PAX. But I will say, the gameplay of Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, I really enjoyed it. I will say, it was a lot of frustrating times because unlike Mario, memorizing the levels is key and there's a lot of focus on replaying them. It's set up differently and that's something I'm still understanding to this day playing Sonic games. Like, it's not like Mario where it's just like, the level design's pretty standard.
That's actually a very interesting thing that you bring up about like how the design philosophy of Sonic is so inherently different from Mario, because Mario is really benefits as a franchise when you're able to just like jump into the game as like a first-time player. It could be your very first time ever touching a video game. And well, you know what? I'm giving Mario some props. Every Mario game, most of them anyway, do a really good job of introducing you to the mechanics and slowly easing you into the gameplay.
I mean, the thing is with Mario games, I think that in terms of like level design, it being more basic is not a bad thing. It's good level design, unless you're playing the lost levels. Even the new Super Mario Brothers games have good level design, but in terms of Sonic, it's something that you just get, or you need to learn. You gotta replay through the games, you gotta do a lot of trial and error.
It's a lot of abuse.
I feel like you can't do that without replaying the game a bunch of times and just memorizing a lot of it, which, I mean, it doesn't make it bad. It's just completely different, and that philosophy, you really started to get it more with Sonic 2 and then Sonic 3. But with the first Sonic game, I mean, that's just Green Hill Zone, and the rest kind of a clone of Mario.
I don't know. I mean, Labyrinth is not bad.
Nah, I didn't like the other zones. Sonic 1 has not held up very well.
I don't know. I think Sonic 1, we'll talk about that at a later date, but I think Sonic 1 still has its gems here and there, but that's besides the point. I totally get what you're saying about like how Sonic in general is such a different franchise, because memorization really is an important thing in Sonic, because when you first start playing a game, it's kind of hard to just ease into Sonic.
Right.
You know, you're already starting off with being able to run at the speed of light and everything, and most people's inclination would be like, wow, going fast is fun. I love going through all the loops and speeding past, destroying the enemies on the way, you know, jumping over obstacles and stuff. That's why Green Hill Zone was such a great first level, because you could really just speed your way through it, but you still felt like you had to like be an active participant. You know, you had to like, oh, you see a bandit here, you gotta jump into it and, you know, keep on moving. And this is what the Sonic franchise is ultimately like, why it's so appealing to me, is that the reward when you get good at the game is so good. It makes you feel really good, it's really fun, and it kind of feels like you tapped into a little secret club or a secret cult.
Welcome to our club! Welcome to our club!
Welcome, Squidward! Welcome, Squidward!
Welcome, Squidward!
Welcome to our club! Welcome to our club! Welcome, Squidward! Welcome, Squidward! Welcome, Squidward! Welcome, Squidward! Welcome, Squidward!
Shut your half-wit pie holes!
Welcome,
Wait,
Squidward!
did you just say cult?
Sometimes being a Sonic fan feels like you're a part of a cult, I'm not gonna lie.
What's the planet in Sonic CD?
Oh, people are gonna be mad at me, I have no idea.
Planet Earth. Or like I just gotta do this. Planet Earth.
I might
about to be recycled. Your only chance to evacuate is to leave with us. There was a cult leader who literally made initiation tapes like that.
What did you just do?
Planet Earth.
I've never seen your eyes like that before. That really freaked me out just now.
This whole trip has just been insane.
Well, you know, I'm glad that your first Sonic experience wasn't that bad. Unlike my first Mario experience. But my first Sonic experience though was legendary, iconic, history bending, all the things. It really had a huge impact on who I am now and why I'm even here, like doing this, making this video, you know? So back when I was a wee lad, you know, so when he
Maggie
was...
Manny!
So when he didn't exist, basically. My first console was a PlayStation 1. And the thing about the games that I got on the PlayStation 1 was that they were licensed games. So Bugs Bunny Lost in Time, Tom and Jerry House Trap, Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase. They were fun and decent licensed games that would let any kid like have fun and just, you know, enjoy their time. But then my dad decided to get us an Xbox. I think my brother really insisted on the Xbox. My brother was a Halo fanatic, one of the most annoying things of my childhood. Hey, you guys want to play? Because
You just dropped the orange cupcakes. I hope you don't smush them.
I would go around. I would go around to my friends and my cousins, and you know, they would all have different systems themselves and different games. Some of them had Xboxes, like my cousin, and so I would go to his house a lot, and then I would bring over games I really wanted to play. Like Shrek 2 was one I really wanted to play a lot, and I'd be like, hey, do you want to play Shrek 2? And then he'd be like, no, you want to play Halo? Every single time. Everyone around me just wanted to play effing Halo. And I'm just like, who cares about this? Why don't we play games like SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom? Or The Simpsons Hit and Run?
The Virgin Halo versus the Chad BungeBob.
So, I forget why I was even talking. Oh, that's why my brother wanted an Xbox, because my brother was also a Halo fanatic. And so, my dad got us an Xbox. He didn't buy my brother Halo though. He brought him like a Need for Speed game instead. He thought he was too young for Halo, because my brother's actually younger than me. So he brought my brother a Need for Speed game, and he brought me, unbeknownst to him, one of the greatest and most legacy-defining games of all time. And that was, my friends, Sonic Heroes. Culture. The most culturous culture of all cultures.
That brings back it's giving PAX East.
It's giving fish.
Know a lot about I don't think any of these episodes are going to be normal. I think normal and us two don't go together. I think that peanut butter and salsa go together better than us and normal. But, well, I will say,
Sonic Heroes was a game that, when I played it, I think I had a really hard time getting to the game for like the first couple years I was playing it. There was this one part of the game where you had like a somewhat realistic alligator chasing you down, and every time I saw it, I thought it was the scariest thing in the world. Like,
was it kind of like seeing the wormy close-up in SpongeBob terrifying?
It was worse than that. So
I don't think it gets much worse.
So
Patrick, there's a monster trying to eat Bikini Bottom.
Can you let me finish my story?
I did.
I'm not done with it yet. Because, I mean, I guess we can get into it when the day comes where we actually do Sonic Heroes. But essentially, Sonic Heroes is what I like to call my stand game. So it's the game that turned me from being like, oh, I like video games, they're fun, I'll play them after school after I do my homework, to I need to stay home every single day, Mom. I need to be able to play Sonic Heroes 24/7. That's the only education that I need in my life. What do you think my mom said to that?
Absolutely not.
But it really was a game that, like, I played that game so many times because my parents weren't in the habit of buying me tons of games in a quick succession. So that was basically the only game I really wanted to play for like a year. And so I would play it over and over and over again. And every time I played it, I got better and better in Sonic Heroes. And that's why I thought that your comment on the memorization was really true to Sonic, because
definitely.
I memorized those levels to the very T. I can tell you like what spot Sonic will land on the beach if you jump and do jump dash from this angle over here on the ocean rock and Seaside Hill. So there was some point where I was playing the game where I thought if I 100%ed all 100 save files in the game, I would get a special reward. So that's how obsessed I was with the game.
Did you?
I don't think I did. because eventually I had to play something else. But yeah, Sonic was a real game changer for me because it really helped me see like how special and how fun video games can be. And this is a nice transition into the next part of it because I don't know if you've all noticed, but we're wearing like PAX West shirts. So another very special thing about video gaming is conventions. This is honestly, I don't think we would be doing this if it wasn't for the conventions we've gone to.
No, I don't think so.
think so. I mean, to be perfectly clear, I don't think we realized.
See, a lot of the jokes come from the conventions.
I didn't realize I don't think we would have realized how this idea even if it wasn't for the conventions. And so PAX West, lots of great memories. I will say in terms of Sonic content though, it was a bit lackluster because Sega decided to not show up this year for some reason. They showed up last year. I believe they demoed Superstars when they were here. So we really missed out, We really should have been there.
You know what? Even as more of a Mario fan, I do feel bad for you because at PAX East, it was literally just Pokemon stuff. Like they had Thousand Year Door and they also had Luigi's Mansion 2 HD coming fairly soon. But no, they just decided to go for Pokemon games and it was just rough. But I felt you there.
I did have a Sonic memory though, and it involved you.
Not getting the board game?
No. So one of the things that we did at the convention was we attended a Good Vibes gaming meetup. By the way, we got to talk to Ash a little bit during this convention. He's like sweetest guy ever. Like really, really awesome guy.
He's trying to be the referee for our Mario and Sonic feud.
We were actually talking to him about doing this podcast, and then he was just thinking that it seems so like ineffectual because like I'm keeping myself away from a bunch of good Mario games, and you're keeping yourself away from a bunch of good Sonic games. I will say though, Ash is a Sonic fan.
There are two solutions to this problem. One, signing a peace treaty, which we're not going to do. And two, as Ash suggested, just playing Mega Man X. So Ash, if you're watching this, if we ever do an episode covering Mega Man X, you better be part of it.
Absolutely.
But I don't like this story. Do we have to do it?
We absolutely have to do this story. So, at this meetup, one of the things that they did that was really nice is that they gave everyone that attended the meetup a certain like trinket, a little thing that Ash just had in his inventory. And can you, show the class, Demeech, what you got from the meetup?
It's over there on your side.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it is.
It's over there.
No, we gave them out at the Street
it's
Pass.
over here.
We gave them out at the Street Pass panel. Okay. So what happened is, I was the first one to get called on.
You were?
Yeah.
I don't think you were the first one.
No, I was number one. I was number one.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm 100% sure.
Alright, whatever. This is not important.
So I see what I get. And I gotta say, I'm grateful for it, but considering the context, I think that's what made it funny. And his reaction, he was just dying. And the look on my face, I was like, whoa.
You had the fakest smile on your face for like a good 5 minutes. And
I let Ash know. But at the same time, this is the hat that I got. And
I'm
I showed...
actually a little jealous. I think that's a really good hat. I wish I had it. But you know what? I'm even happier that you have it.
It was really funny and really ironic, but at the same time, this is a cool hat, and my friend T&D, he said, you don't deserve this hat.
You kind of don't, to be honest. But, hopefully this is a sign of good things to come. Because as we get further into this podcast series, we're going to play more Mario games, we're going to play more Sonic games. And why are you changing the hat?
Because it's still PAX themed, and I still have a memory.
It's also Sonic themed.
No, that's for the Sonic portion. This one's for the excuse me portion.
No, we're not doing that. But I will say, I feel like that was actually a little symbolic of us starting this podcast. Because
it sure was. Well, I was trying to do the Odyssey thing there, but it didn't work out.
Because, what better way to basically cement a PAX West memory than for you to win a Sonic the Hedgehog 20th anniversary hat.
I mean, considering the other things that happened at the convention, that's pretty tame, but very symbolic. So I'm curious to know the final portion. I chose a Mario game for you the last time, so I'm honestly not concerned about what Sonic game you chose because I've played Sonic R before, so I'm prepared for it. I mean...
Well, I'm glad you asked. So I kind of went back and forth because, you know, there's a couple ways you can go about this, right? So you can pick a game that you think is going to get the other person to be more receptive to the franchise. But then I realize it's you and I don't care. So
oh, thanks.
because we're in this for the long haul, we're doing this no matter what. And if I have to play classic Mario, then you're gonna have to play whatever I give you. So basically, the game that I decided to choose though is one of my all-time favorites. And it's a game that's actually very relevant because of a lot of events happening the next couple months when it comes to Sonic. That's definitely gonna come up in conversation.
I hope it's Shadow the Hedgehog.
So it was almost Shadow the Hedgehog, but
damn.
I didn't want that to be the first Sonic game that we covered because I wanted to set a somewhat positive tone for Sonic games. Not to say, you know, when we get into Shadow the Hedgehog, I do think it has some redeeming qualities that I would love to see get brought back in Sonic games, and we're actually seeing some of that stuff be brought back in Shadow Generations, which y'all should pre-order and pick up on day one because that's hype right there. But the game that I've chosen for my good pal Dimitri is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Do I have to play the first one first?
Nope, you're gonna play this one. The reason I want to do Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is simply because we got Shadow Generations coming out in October, and we also got the Sonic Movie 3 coming out, and I do actually want to do like an episode in the future where we talk about the movies as well, and I feel like you just need the context of Adventure 2 before you go into the third Sonic movie. So I think that this is going to be a very nice choice for like a first Sonic game, because it is a Sonic game that is a little controversial, is a little polarizing, much like most of Sonic's catalog, and it also is one of the most defining games of the Sonic franchise.
I will say, I'm looking forward to checking it out, unironically. Considering how much praise it gets, how many people want a remake or a sequel,
Yeah.
it is something... You could have chosen a much worse game. It's kind of nice you didn't, but at the same time...
We all know the other kings are going to have to come eventually, but
I'm looking forward to it.
I really did want to start our podcast on like a nice note, and I really want you to play a game that I think actually has a lot of positive qualities to it. But it's also a game that I wasn't really sure about choosing first because I also think it's not the best game for like a newcomer to get into. At least when it comes to like 3D Sonic anyway. But it's you, so I guess we'll just see how it works out.
I mean, I played Sonic Heroes, but yeah. I was gonna choose Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels for you, but I decided, I'll start on a positive note too.
And so, if there's any games that you all want us to cover in this series, by the way, then let us know in the comment section below, because we'll definitely use your feedback to kind of figure out what games we're gonna go through next. But yeah, I think this is going to be a start of a very interesting journey that may test our friendship in insurmountable ways.
And the cupcakes didn't?
I mean, they're just cupcakes. I'm not gonna hit you over cupcakes.
No! But yeah, it's gonna be an exciting journey.
Here, I'll let you do whatever you want with them.
Do we smush them, or are we gonna eat them for the first episode?
That's, you know what? I think the audience, if you've been watching up to this point, so if you watch both Dimitri's and mine, and you've gotten up to this point, I think it's the least we can do. So,
All right.
let's do cheers to our very first.
It fell on the floor. You're not gonna eat that, are you? No.
It's a 5-second.
We're not doing that. All right.
It's a
I got an idea for the one that fell. What we'll do is just put that back, and we're gonna split this one. So what we can do is I actually got the tray right here for the one that's okay. And for the one that's not, we're just gonna street pass. Just smush it. You want? Let's see how flat it can get.
This is my channel. This is my channel to make.
Street pass love, if you're watching, this is for you.
This is gonna be taken out of context, and it's going to be so bad.
It's just a smushed cupcake. But then, alright, to Mario and Sonic.
At the Olympic Games. Rest
Cheers.
in peace. I will say, these do actually taste good.
They're delicious.
Also, I'm gonna try to figure out. You know what? I'll put text for this next part. So, there's Riders riding out. Okay, go ahead.
Hey guys, we just got done filming the second part of the Sonic and Mario podcast, and at the end of it, we had an orange Hostess cupcake fall on the floor, and we couldn't eat it. So
My mom is gonna kill me.
he wanted to, but I didn't let him
doing
do
that.
it. So what happened is, the reason why smushed orange cupcakes are a meme is because, long story short, too many games, I had a kablooey cartridge in my backpack and there were some orange cupcakes. It smushed it, and I see this orange cupcake that's smushed, and I offer it to my friend Street Pass Love and ask him in a serious way, do you want this? And he's like, no! In the most horrified way. So this is dedicated to you, Shane. How flat can we get an orange cupcake? This fell on the floor, but it broke a little bit, but we're gonna try it out regardless. This can't be eaten anyway, so let's see how flat we can get it.
It looks like CPR. It's like CPR.
I'm gonna try to see if it can feel like a pancake. Oh! So this is how flat we can get an orange cupcake. As you can see, it actually stuck together. I'm gonna try one more time. This one goes out to you again, Shane. No! You can see that it can get pretty flat. Who needs flat Stanley when you got the flat orange cupcake?